I'm out in the pergola area of Magical Moon Farm this morning. The sun has just come up. It's around 6:30 a.m. You can see the ocean in the background. It's going to be a very warm week, so I'm out here early looking at what I can do to protect the plants. I noticed as I'm looking at these beautiful blue hydrangeas that were planted in memory of Lauren the Lionhearted, that we have a peach tree coming up in the middle, a little volunteer. They're so happy when they poke their heads up, and for some reason weeds grow a lot stronger and faster than the plants. Never figured that one out. I guess it's like us. If we go through a lot and life is hard, we become more resilient, and that's kind of what this peach plant is doing. Shasta daisies are happy in the background. Here's another little volunteer. This is bindweed. If you ever plant morning glories, the result is usually a bindweed afterwards that's so invasive in your garden it will wrap itself around everything and choke out anything that you'd like to grow. So bindweed just gets pulled constantly around here. Another very resilient plant. The onions. There were a few onions left last year in the ground, and they came up again. Now they're going to seed. I leave them. The bulbs aren't huge. They're good size, but not huge. So I leave them for the bees. The bees love any of the alliums. Look at this grass. My goodness, it's healthy. Weeders. I need weeders. In the background you can see the archway of the grapevines. We have 3 different varieties of grapes, and they all do very well. This is going to be a very good year for fruit this year. We have espalier fruit trees behind them. I'll walk over to that area so you can see it. These are our food grade barrels that we put Swiss chard. This is spinach. Spinach has bolted because of the heat, so I'll feed that to the African crane. He'll love those. More Swiss chard and kale. On the opposite side, we have lots of flowers to keep the honeybees happy. We have the beehives in the background. We have mostly the little Italian bees here, little golden ones. A few Russians that are more resilient, but mostly Italian bees. They're very sweet. They don't bother us in the garden. This is volunteer nasturtiums from last year. It seems like the volunteers are much hardier than the ones I plant. In the background here we have mullein. Many of you might see mullein in your garden growing wild. It's going to flower now. Sometimes it gets very, very tall. And these leaves, my interns pick these just about now, and we lay them out in racks and dry them. And when they're completely dry, that should be in the dark, by the way, dry them in the dark. We crumple them up, put them in a jar, and save them for the winter months when people are more likely to get things like pneumonia, bronchitis, or COVID. And this helps you to breathe. You crumple them up, put them in a pot of water, boiling water, put a towel over your head, and breathe in the steam, and it opens up the airways. It's also great for drinking afterwards. It makes a nice tea. There's my grapevine. It's now getting so long, it's going over other things. I put onions, all the alliums and garlic in the raised, not the raised bed, excuse me, the cold frames, because last year we had a huge problem with voles eating everything, and they don't like onions. See the grapes starting to produce nice grapes. We don't worry about spraying here. We don't worry about perfection because we are more concerned with children with cancer and people being healthy and the earth being healthy. So we kind of let nature take its its own direction, and we are very grateful for whatever we get from it. These are the grapevines. They're growing right over my espalier fruit trees. So I'll be coming out here soon to prune those back and then prune all the suckers off the tops of the espaliers. The espalier fruit trees were designed to be against a wall or a small area, and they let in a lot of light, and you get a lot of fruit from them because they have the perfect conditions to produce fruit. I have to take down this little cedar tree in here. It was a volunteer because it's giving the apple tree cedar rust. So if you ever see that on an apple tree, look for something like this nearby. Oh my goodness, this grapevine's growing right up from the base of the vine and wrapping around everything. That sucker's got to come out of there. All right. That's about it. Have a wonderful day, everyone.